Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are listening to this right now, it is not by coincidence. It is by divine appointment. You have been drawn here by the Spirit of God Himself because this message carries something that belongs to you. You are not here by accident. You are here because heaven has already stamped you as chosen, set apart, and destined for greatness. Child of God, you are more than just another person passing through this earth. You are the wealth carrier for your bloodline. That means God has chosen you to break generational patterns, to carry abundance, and to release blessings that will outlive you. This mantle upon your life is not light. It carries the weight of transformation for everyone connected to you. What once was a line of struggle will now become a line of overflow because of your obedience and faith. And the beautiful truth is this: your story will not end with lack. It will be remembered as the beginning of legacy. Let's break this down into 7 chapters so your spirit can fully grasp the weight and beauty of this divine assignment. Before we go any further, if your spirit is feeling this word, type 7 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It represents divine inheritance and generational breakthrough. It is the sign that God is finishing the hidden work within you and preparing to release you as the wealth carrier for your bloodline. When you type it, you're declaring in faith that you are aligned, chosen, and ready to step into generational abundance that has been prepared for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe. And make sure you watch this video to the very end, because your mantle as the wealth carrier is about to be revealed in a way your family line has never seen before. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Heaven saw you before the struggle. Child of God, before you were even a thought in your parents' mind, you were already a thought in the mind of God. Before your name was ever written on a birth certificate, it was already etched into the Lamb's book of life. Heaven knew you, chose you, and marked you before the world even touched you. That means your life has never been random. Your story has never been an accident. Every detail, every twist, every valley, and every mountaintop has been divinely woven into a bigger plan. Heaven looked down your bloodline and saw the struggle, the debts that never seemed to end, the doors that stayed closed, the promises that seemed always just out of reach. Generation after generation, the same patterns repeated: broken dreams, unfinished goals, untapped potential. But heaven also saw something else. It saw you. God said, "This cycle ends with them. What stopped the others will not stop this one. Where others bowed to lack, this one will carry abundance. Where others gave up, this one will walk in victory." That is why your beginning was marked by hardship. It wasn't because God abandoned you, it was because He was preparing you. Think of it this way: diamonds are not formed in comfort, they are formed under pressure. Gold is not refined in still waters, it is refined by fire. And so it was with you. The struggles, the tears, the nights you wondered if God even saw you, they were not wasted moments. They were the chiseling of heaven shaping you into the wealth carrier for your family line. Understand this: those who have never felt lack cannot fully honor abundance. Those who have never been hungry cannot fully value being fed. And those who have never carried the weight of generational struggles cannot fully appreciate the freedom of breaking them. That is why you were chosen, because your experience of pain, of limitation, of not enough, is the very foundation that will empower you to handle wealth with wisdom, compassion, and vision. Do you remember those times you asked God, "Why me? Why does it feel like I have to fight harder than everyone else?" The answer has always been, because you are not like everyone else. You are chosen. You were chosen to stand in the gap. You were chosen to say no more to the cycles that plagued your family. You were chosen to be the first, so that you won't be the last. What starts with you will not die with you. It will multiply and outlive you. Every struggle you endured was training. Every season of lack was a classroom. Every disappointment was a tool in the hand of the potter, shaping you into something your family line had never seen before. While others saw impossibility, God placed inside you the vision to see potential. While others were content with just enough, He gave you a hunger for more than enough. That hunger wasn't greed, it was destiny calling you higher. And here's the truth, child of God. Heaven saw you long before the enemy tried to attack you. Heaven knew your assignment long before the devil tried to distract you. Heaven wrote your victory before your struggle even began. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. That means what God ordained cannot be canceled, no matter what battles you've faced. So never look at your struggle as a curse. See it as evidence that you were chosen for something greater. Your story is not ending where it started. What began in lack will end in overflow. What began in tears will end in joy. What began in struggle will end in victory. Why? Because heaven saw you before the struggle, and heaven already declared, "This one is the wealth carrier for their bloodline." Chapter 2. The price of being chosen. Child of God, to be chosen as the wealth carrier for your bloodline is one of the highest honors heaven can place upon a person. But make no mistake, it comes with a cost. The oil of this mantle does not flow freely. It is pressed out of seasons of struggle, rejection, and fire. You have been marked by God to carry something that generations before you could not. And because of that, you could never live an ordinary life. You've already felt the weight of this calling. You faced rejection, betrayal, and misunderstanding, not because you were wrong, but because you were different. Your very mindset has separated you. While others around you accepted the cycles of lack, you couldn't ignore the fire burning within you for more. When others were content with limitation, you were restless. When others said, "This is just the way things are," something in your spirit screamed, "No, this cannot be the end of the story." That something was heaven whispering, "You are the carrier, you are the chosen." But being chosen isolates you. Others cannot understand why you think differently, why you dream bigger, why you refuse to shrink yourself to fit into their small expectations. They mock your vision because they cannot see the promise. They reject your ideas because they cannot grasp your anointing. And yet all along, God has seen every step. He has not only seen it, He orchestrated it. The rejection you faced was not a curse, it was a compass pointing you toward your destiny. Understand this. Loneliness was not your enemy, it was your assignment. God had to pull you away from the crowd so He could pour into you privately. He had to guard you from voices that would dilute your faith. He had to silence distractions so you could hear Him clearly. Think about it. Moses had to be separated in the wilderness before leading Israel. David had to be isolated in the field before becoming king. Joseph had to be rejected by his brothers before entering the palace. And you, child of God, had to be preserved through separation so that the wealth you carry would not be wasted on wrong hands or wrong environments. The price of being chosen also comes with pruning. God had to strip away attachments, habits, and mindsets that would have sabotaged your assignment. He could not allow you to carry bitterness into the abundance He is preparing for you. He could not allow you to bring selfishness into the legacy you are called to steward. He could not allow you to be surrounded by Lot when your inheritance required separation. And so He removed people, He closed doors, He shifted you into spaces where the only thing you could rely on was Him. It hurt, it was confusing, at times it felt unfair, but in reality every tear you cried was watering the soil of your destiny. Every no you received was God protecting your yes. Every betrayal was a lesson, every loss was a pruning. Every delay was preparation, and all of it was necessary, because being a wealth carrier is not just about money, it's about responsibility. It is about carrying vision that stretches beyond your lifetime. It is about building, planting, and releasing blessings that will impact people you may never meet. It is about shifting the story of your entire bloodline. And for this kind of calling, God cannot use someone who is casual. He must use someone who has been tested, refined, and proven. That someone is you. So, child of God, never resent the price, never despise the separation, never curse the rejection. Instead, wear them as evidence of your calling. For crowns are not placed on the heads of the comfortable. They are placed on the heads of the chosen, the ones who endured the cost, embraced the fire, and trusted the hand of God in the process. And hear me, the cost you paid will not be wasted. Heaven always repays what you've sown in tears with a harvest of abundance. Your story will not end in rejection, it will end in restoration. It will end in honor. It will end in generational wealth, wisdom, and legacy that will speak long after your name has been whispered on this earth. You are the wealth carrier, and this mantle was never cheap, but it is eternal. Chapter 3. Wealth is more than money. Child of God, when heaven calls you the wealth carrier for your bloodline, do not reduce that word wealth to money alone. Yes, financial overflow will be a part of it. Yes, resources will flow to you. Yes, opportunities will chase you down. Because divine provision is written into your assignment. But wealth is far greater than dollar signs and bank accounts. True wealth is about fullness, about becoming the embodiment of God's abundance in every dimension of life. Wealth is wisdom. It is the kind of insight that allows you to solve problems others run from. It is the discernment to know when to move, when to wait, when to speak, and when to stay silent. Wealth is knowing how to plant seeds that produce harvests, not just for yourself, but for generations after you. Many in your bloodline lacked wisdom, and it kept them bound in cycles. But God has chosen you to carry wisdom that unlocks doors, wisdom that guides decisions, wisdom that protects legacy. Wealth is peace. Do you know how priceless it is to sleep at night without anxiety consuming your mind? How rare it is to live without constant fear of lack, betrayal, or chaos. God is not only blessing your hands with provision, He is blessing your heart with peace. The kind of peace that cannot be shaken by external storms. The kind of peace that makes others wonder, How do they remain so calm when everything is falling apart? That peace is part of your inheritance. Wealth is healing, not just physical healing, but emotional and generational healing. The traumas that plagued your bloodline, the cycles of brokenness, the scars of abandonment and pain, through you healing is flowing. God is raising you as the one who will not only break cycles of financial poverty, but also cycles of spiritual and emotional poverty. You will be the one who shows your family what it looks like to live whole, to walk healed, to refuse to pass down trauma as inheritance. Wealth is legacy. True abundance is never about what you keep. It's about what you leave. God is not just enriching you for your lifetime. He is positioning you to create generational impact. Through you, your children and your children's children will inherit more than material resources. They will inherit vision, faith, discipline, and strength. You are building something that will outlive you, something that will echo long after you've stepped into eternity. Understand this. Wealth is not just money in the bank. It is influence, wisdom, authority, and legacy. The world measures wealth by possessions, but heaven measures wealth by impact. And you, child of God, are called to be wealthy in both realms. Through you, faith will be restored in your family line. Where others stopped praying, you will reintroduce prayer. Where others lost faith in God's goodness, your life will testify that He still provides, still heals, still elevates. Through you, discipline will be restored. Where others wasted time and opportunities, you will show how to steward resources well, how to build instead of consume, how to multiply instead of waste. And through you, the next generation will rise on higher ground. They will not have to fight the battles you fought. They will not start at the bottom because you laid the foundation. They will inherit both spiritual wealth, faith, vision, courage, and material wealth, resources, provision, opportunities. They will look back and say, because of the one who went before us, our story is different. Because of the one who carried the mantle, we walk in freedom. This is wealth the world cannot steal, cannot measure, and cannot replicate. It is wealth that begins in the spirit and overflows into every area of life. And child of God, you are the vessel heaven has chosen to carry it. Chapter 4. Your prayers broke the chains. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of your prayers. Every tear you cried, every whispered plea, every midnight intercession when no one else saw you, it was not wasted. Heaven heard every groan, every sigh, every time you said, Doctor, Lord, help me. The world may have overlooked your pain, but heaven recorded it as evidence. Your prayers became hammers, striking chains that had bound your bloodline for generations. Think about it. While others before you gave up under the weight of poverty, addiction, fear, or failure, you refused to quit. While others in your family surrendered to cycles, you said, "This stops with me." You may not have felt strong at the time. In fact, you prayed through weakness, through weariness, through moments when it felt like your words were hitting the ceiling. But in the unseen realm, your prayers were shaking foundations. Your midnight tears watered the seeds of deliverance. Your fasting built altars that shifted atmospheres. Your prayers invited heaven's armies to intervene where human effort failed. When you prayed, angels moved. When you prayed, God broke curses. When you prayed, spiritual walls crumbled that had stood for decades. You thought you were just crying out for relief, but heaven was using your prayers as weapons of mass destruction against generational bondage. You are the reason cycles of lack are breaking in your bloodline. You are the reason doors are opening for those who will come after you. Heaven trusted you with the intercession your ancestors could not complete. And though you may not see the full fruit yet, heaven is already shifting. Opportunities are being positioned. Relationships are being aligned. Generational wealth, health, and wholeness are being established because of your faithfulness. Do you realize, child of God, that your prayers have already touched people you have never met? Somewhere in the future, your children's children will walk in freedom because you dared to pray. They will inherit land you never saw, businesses you never managed, opportunities you never stepped into, all because your prayers paved the way. Understand this: prayer is more than words. It is a spiritual transaction. Each time you prayed, you were depositing seeds into the soil of eternity. You may have felt weak, but your weakness was your greatest weapon, because in your weakness, God's strength showed up. When you prayed with tears streaming down your face, heaven said, "This one is serious. This one carries the mantle." Others may never know the price you paid on your knees, but heaven does. And the reward for your intercession is generational. The chains that held your bloodline for decades snapped because of you. The curses that repeated like cycles are broken because of you. The patterns that seemed unshakable are collapsing under the weight of your prayers. So don't be discouraged if you haven't seen all the results yet. Some of your prayers were not just for today. They were for tomorrow and the day after and generations beyond your lifetime. You are the intercessor, the chain breaker, the warrior heaven trusted to change the course of your family's story. Remember this: God is not only blessing you, He is blessing through you. And the proof is this: chains are already broken. Chapter 5. God is trusting you with resources. Child of God, hear this. God is not careless with His blessings. He does not pour out wealth into just any vessel. Heaven looks for people who have been tried, tested, and proven faithful under pressure. And in you, God has found someone He can trust. That's why your process was so intense. That's why you felt like you lost more than you gained. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every season of lack you endured taught you stewardship. Every door that closed taught you patience. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every setback became a classroom where heaven was training you how to manage, multiply, and preserve what was coming. Because when God releases wealth, it is never just for luxury. It is for legacy. Think about Joseph. He went from a pit to slavery to prison before he was placed in the palace. And when he finally stepped into his position of authority, he wasn't bitter, arrogant, or reckless. He was humble, wise, and strategic, because the fire had shaped him. The same is true for you. If God had blessed you too early, pride would have swallowed you. If He had released resources before your refinement, you would have wasted them. But now, after the crushing, after the tears, after the lessons, you are ready. God is about to place resources in your hands that will bless far beyond your lifetime. You will not only handle finances with wisdom, you will handle opportunities, connections, and influence with integrity. Heaven knows that when money comes to you, it will not die in your account. It will circulate into visions, businesses, ministries, and projects that will feed nations. When opportunities knock, you won't slam the door in fear. You'll step boldly knowing God prepared you. When influence grows, you won't use it to exalt yourself. You'll use it to lift others. Understand this: God's trust is no small thing. For Him to release abundance into your hands means He has tested your heart and found it pure enough to steward. Where others chased after blessings, you chased after God, and that is why blessings will now chase after you. Where others craved titles, you sought His presence, and that is why heaven is entrusting you with responsibility. Your role is bigger than yourself. You are the Joseph of your bloodline, the one chosen to preserve generations. You are the storehouse, the provider, the bridge that ensures your children and your children's children will not repeat the cycles of lack you endured. You are carrying the mantle of financial deliverance, and through your obedience, chains of poverty, debt, and struggle are breaking off your lineage. And here is the truth: the wealth you are stepping into isn't just about comfort, it's about kingdom. It's about funding visions, building schools, empowering entrepreneurs, feeding the hungry, and sowing into things that will outlive you. Your obedience has made you a distribution center for heaven's resources. God knows you won't hoard it in fear or waste it in recklessness. You will multiply it, manage it, and move it where He instructs. So don't be surprised when sudden doors open. Don't question why resources begin to flow easily into your hands. Don't doubt when people start seeking your wisdom and your leadership. It's not random, it's confirmation. Heaven has tested you in private and is now releasing you in public. Child of God, your hands are about to hold wealth, but not just money. Influence, wisdom, peace, and vision are also part of the package. Walk humbly, walk wisely, and never forget, the resources coming to you are not just for you. They are for generations. They are for kingdom. They are for legacy. Chapter 6. Walking into your inheritance with courage. Child of God, this is not the season to shrink. This is not the time to bow your head in false humility or to question whether you are worthy of what is being released into your life. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to doubt yourself at the very moment of manifestation. He wants you to sabotage your blessings by convincing you they are too good to be true. He wants you to carry guilt from the past, shame from your struggles, or fear of what others will say. But heaven's voice is louder than the enemy's whisper, and heaven declares, "Why not you? You are not walking into this inheritance by coincidence. You are stepping into it by covenant. This was written into your destiny before the foundations of the earth were laid. Every battle you endured, every tear you shed, every sacrifice you made, it was all leading to this moment. You are standing in a doorway that generations before you prayed for but could not enter. They fought, they bled, they dreamed, and now, through you, their prayers are being answered. Do not be afraid of the weight of the blessing. Do not fear the responsibility that comes with favor. Remember, you were chosen because God already equipped you. He would not place this mantle on your shoulders if He did not already put the strength, wisdom, and grace within you to carry it. What you are stepping into is not a burden. It is a crown. It is not a trap. It is a testimony. Walking into your inheritance requires courage because the moment you rise, others will watch. Some will celebrate you, others will criticize you, and some will silently envy you. But none of that matters. Your rise is not about pleasing man, it is about glorifying God. Every step you take into your inheritance becomes a prophetic act, a living demonstration of what it looks like when God's favor rests on a person. You are not just inheriting for yourself, you are opening doors for others. You are becoming proof that God still raises people from the pit to the palace. Child of God, courage is contagious. When you step boldly, others will follow. When you refuse to apologize for God's blessings in your life, others will be inspired to dream bigger, believe deeper, and trust longer. Your courage will silence fear in your family. Your courage will break doubt in your bloodline. Your courage will plant seeds of faith in those who never thought they could rise. And understand this: courage doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you will not bow to it. Courage means you take the step anyway, trusting that the same God who opened the door will also strengthen you to walk through it. The same God who placed the inheritance in your hands will also give you the wisdom to steward it. The same God who raised you up will sustain you when the weight feels heavy. So do not shrink, do not dim your light, do not play small to make others comfortable. Lift your head, square your shoulders, and walk boldly into your inheritance. The abundance, the opportunities, the resources, the influence, they are not a mistake. They are your birthright. They are the proof that God's promises are yes and amen. Chosen one, your inheritance is bigger than you. It is about your children, your children's children, and even those who are not yet born. When you walk with courage, you are setting a prophetic blueprint for generations after you. They will not have to fight the same battles you fought. They will not carry the same chains you carried. Because of your courage, they will walk in freedom, in favor, and in abundance. This is your moment. This is your season. Walk into your inheritance with courage, because heaven has already stamped it with approval. Chapter 7. Leave a legacy, not just an income. Finally, child of God, hear this with your whole spirit. Your assignment as the wealth carrier is far greater than comfort, luxury, or temporary recognition. God did not anoint you just to escape poverty or to enjoy the blessings of a better lifestyle. No, He raised you up to be a foundation builder, a line shifter, a gate opener. You are not here simply to live well. You are here to change the narrative of your entire bloodline. An income may pay bills for a season, but a legacy will break chains for generations. An income may provide momentary relief, but a legacy becomes an inheritance of freedom. An income is temporary. A legacy is eternal. And the mantle on your life is legacy. This is why heaven has stamped you as the chosen one, because through you, God is setting a new standard for your bloodline, a standard of abundance, discipline, wisdom, and faith. Think about the story of Abraham. God told him, say, "Through you all nations will be blessed." Abraham's wealth was not just for Abraham, it was a covenant meant to bless his descendants, generation after generation. And in the same way, your blessings are not just about you, they are about the covenant God has made with your family through you. You are the Abraham, the Joseph, the Esther, the David of your line. Heaven marked you as the one to carry the mantle forward. The choices you make today will echo beyond your lifetime. The prayers you whisper at midnight, the sacrifices you make when no one is watching, the obedience you walk in when it would be easier to compromise. All of it is building a spiritual inheritance. Your faith is breaking curses. Your discipline is breaking patterns. Your obedience is opening doors for children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren who will live in blessings they did not have to fight for, because you fought for them. Do not underestimate the weight of this assignment. This is why the battle has been so fierce against you. The enemy wasn't just after your peace, he was after your lineage. He wasn't just after your money, he was after your seed. He wanted to keep your family trapped in cycles of lack, ignorance, and fear. But heaven chose you as the breaker of those cycles. You are the one who stands in the gap, declaring, this stops with me. It will not continue. From this point on, only abundance, wisdom, and favor will flow. Child of God, legacy is not only about property, businesses, or wealth, though those will surely come. Legacy is also about principles, about faith, about values, about teaching your family how to walk in wisdom, how to put God first, how to steward resources with integrity. Money may fade, but wisdom will multiply. Opportunities may shift, but spiritual covering will endure. You are laying down both material and spiritual wealth, and together they form an inheritance the enemy cannot steal. So rise with courage. Do not shrink back when the blessings begin to manifest. Do not disqualify yourself with thoughts of unworthiness. Heaven says, why not you? You were born for this. You were trained for this. You were tested for this. The reason you endured so much pain is because you were carrying so much promise. And when your time on this earth is done, may those who come after you rise and call you blessed. May your children and grandchildren say, because of the one who went before us, we live in freedom. Because of their obedience, we walk through doors that once were closed. Because of their prayers, we inherit blessings they never got to see. That, child of God, is your true assignment, not just to leave an income, but to leave a legacy that shifts history. Heaven has stamped you as the wealth carrier for your bloodline, and no weapon, no opposition, no curse can cancel what God has already ordained. So walk boldly, live wisely, stay faithful, because the story of your bloodline is forever changed. And it changed the moment you said yes.